The main thing I tackle in this video is replacing my dented deck lid with one from the junkyard that looks a lot better. But first, I tracked down a brand new leak. It got worse overnight, and it's coming from an area that wasn't previously leaking. So the X5 is leaking coolant again. So today's goal is to find the source of the new leak. I'm going to pressurize the system and see what we have. This has to be a new leak or something I missed, because before it was leaking from farther back. This is right up front. Maybe radiator or something. I mean, when I went to bed last night, it was a slow drip. I put the paper towel down, but now it's coming down pretty fast. So hopefully this is just something obvious. It was likely leaking faster because I took this cap off. This area is right above the leak. The reservoir is here, it's right here. I don't see anything else that is obviously wet. I see some moisture down there, and I believe that is water pump area. And that is right above where the drips are coming. So I put my phone down there, did a bit of looking around, and it looks like a leak is coming from the water pump. So I will likely be replacing the water pump. But I am going to do a bit of digging just to make sure it's not a loose tube, but it looks like the water pump. It doesn't look like it's that hard to get to. It looks like there's plenty of space. So now I got to drain the coolant. Something else I need to work on is this. I picked up a new deck lid at the junkyard, and this is really the only body damage this car has. So I'm going to try and swap it in right now. So I need to remove these screws. So I'm going to hold this back with a bungee cable and one of these handy dandy little things that the X5 has. Good enough, eh? I thought that was kind of clever. The good thing about taking things off at the junkyard is you learn how things go together. So I'm going to take off all these screws. And this is the last one. And I know from the junkyard I can separate this. Oh wow, that's already kind of separated. Like that. Wait a minute, is this already... It's already broken? Yeah, all of these were broken already. So those screws were the only thing holding this one on. That's unfortunate. Man, if I go back to the junkyard, I might get this section. So I know I have to take this off. Actually, I don't have to remove that side, but I definitely have to take this side out. This is different than the one at the junkyard, because I remember there being two connections and I only see one. So let's take this off and see what we got. Looking back, I could have just counted the number of wires coming out of the connector that was coming from the trunk. Or maybe there is just that one connector. Well, let's give it a shot and see. Let's see if this is the only one. Let's see, how does this free itself? Ooh, this may be different than the one at the junkyard because that seems to be the only connector. The one from the junkyard does have two connectors, but that one seems to be the same. So I'm gonna keep going. So fishing this one out will be easier than fishing the other one out, because it's just that one to be concerned with. All right, so now it should just be bolts that I have to remove. So there are 4 bolts that can be removed with the T30, 2 here, and 2 here. And there's one on each strut that I'm removing with a T40. And I forgot about that snap back action. I'm glad I was out of the way. Out with the old. Just to protect the new one a little bit. Go like this. Yeah. In with the new. Stay there. Yeah. Got all the bolts from the junkyard. I'm gonna take those out and reuse the bolts I had because I stripped one of the ones at the junkyard. Line these guys up. One on this side and one on this side. All right, I'm gonna do everything kind of loose to make sure I can get everything in. Then I'm gonna tighten it down. And now this one. Had to lift up on it a bit. Come on, buddy. All right, let's see how hard it is to pull this out. Oh, it's not that hard. Not that hard at all. Ooh, but I may need some assistance screwing it in. Nice. All right, now I have only ever taken these out. I've never reinstalled them. So let's hope it doesn't get snagged along the way. And I cannot see it. Ah, there it is. There it is. Uh-oh. Did get snagged. I think I got it. All right, cool. Cool. A little clip, did it make it out? It did. Clip first, connect later. Spot for the clip, the connector reaches. Now all we need it to do is connect. And it does. Now, as far as what this did, I don't know, but that's probably a difference between the 07s and the 2013 E70s. Or 2012s, whatever the junkyard one was. It's a 2012, I don't know if there's any differences between mine and that, but... And this guy... Wait a minute. Did the other one have that? No, the other one didn't have this piece. It just had this. So I'm gonna take the quick way out and get rid of this guy. Aha, now it'll go in. And that is the way it's supposed to seal. So now I'm just gonna tighten down the hinge bolts and put the panel on. And I'm gonna do the final tighten by hand because I did strip some at the junkyard. Let's see if it closes. It's not latching. And the bottom is catching this lip. So I am going to adjust it up a little bit. So I'm going to loosen these bolts. And this needs to shift up like that. All right, I'm tightening them back down. One on each side to start. All right, let's see. And it doesn't hit the bottom. That side latched. I don't think this side latched. And it releases. Right. So I wonder why that side isn't latching. Probably because this car sustained some trauma on this side at one point. So now it's functioning, but this left side doesn't latch. I don't know if there's an adjustment I can make to make that happen. But let's see if there is. Ah, yes. This is on a slotted bracket, so I can adjust it out just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is close it, make sure that it latches, and then tighten it down. Or I can try something else. Or I can just put it in and see if closing it, oh, it does. And now just tighten it in like that. That was a good idea, Matt. Until I dropped the bolt. All right, let's try that again. Humility. Humility is the word for the day. Still a good idea though. Oh boy, I'm nervous about dropping this one. It doesn't even want to. Oh. All right, let's see if it latches and unlatches properly now. Wait a minute. Hey, both sides latched. And it's nice and tight. Let's test it again. Now that is a snug fit. Maybe it should just latch by doing that, but now I know how to adjust it if that becomes an issue for me. But I'm happy it works now. And that means I can put this back on. And I'm going to briefly reconnect the battery to see if the electrical bits work. All right, let's see. Hot damn. They work. All right, so I'm gonna put all the trim back on. Some of the clips are intact, but most of them aren't. Part of my problem is some of the old clips are stuck in here. Yeah, that was stuck in there, and there's another one stuck on the other side. No wonder it wouldn't go in. So now, all I gotta do is line it up, and it should snap right in. Look at that. Look at that. Sitting nice and flush. Now all I have to do is reinstall the screws. Actually, that, for whatever reason, wasn't as hard to latch back. That looks a lot better with a good wash. This will be fantastic. Dadgummit, I disconnected the battery. I'm not gonna do that again. I wanted to see if replacing this would make my volume knob work, but it looks like there are differences between the 07 and the 2013 that will not allow me to install this. So if I'm ever back at the junkyard and it's still intact, I may grab the rest of the radio just to see, but if not, it doesn't affect taking this car on trips. As you saw, this E70 still needs lots of work. If you would like to follow along as I continue to improve it, hit subscribe. If you would like to see the things I've already done, check out the playlist. Thanks for watching. Take care.